I checked the numbers 17 times under the buzzing gas station lights. Each time the same. $9 million, me, Marcus Hale, 34, spreadsheet Sherpa at Wilmington and Associates. Suddenly, the richest boring man in our subdivision. I drove home floating. That ticket felt like a passport out of beige. Out of Clara's favorite word for me, adequate. "Clara," I called as I fumbled the door. "You're not going to believe—" She appeared at the top of the stairs in the silk nightgown I couldn't afford when I bought it. The lamp glow made her look like the version of her I used to write terrible poetry about. The eyes, though, ice. "We won," I said, holding the ticket up like a miracle. $9 million. Her heels clicked down the steps, measured. "You're right," she said, perfume sharp in the air. "This changes everything." I thought she might kiss me. She pushed me. There's a specific physics to stair falls. Time stretches, the body doesn't. I remember the ticket fluttering away like confetti and thinking, absurdly, Clara always wanted hard wood. The landing came up fast and full of pain. The last thing I heard was her voice from far away, gentle as a lullaby. "You deserved it." Hospitals smell like industrial mint and defeat. I woke to that, and a body made of bruise. "Mr. Hale?" The nurse's badge said, "Alina Cruz." Her voice was the first kind thing I'd heard in years. "How are we feeling?" Like I lost. A fight with gravity and a sociopath. She adjusted my IV. "Your wife came once," she said, eyes careful. "She stood over you and said you deserved it." A beat. "I also saw her yesterday with a man. Expensive suit, expensive smile. She called him Daniel, of course." 8 days in, Clara arrived with him. She was polished to a lethal shine. He was tall, tan, the human embodiment of a reservation at a place with valet parking. "Marcus," she sang, "you're looking better." "Better than dead," I said. "Which I suppose disappoints you." "Daniel Cross," the man said, offering a firm handshake that lasted 2 seconds too long. "I've heard so much." "I bet you have." Clara lifted a hand to flash a new ring. "This is my husband now," she said. "Vegas, 3 days. I'll go." While I was unconscious. Daniel pulled up a chair. "There are legal complexities," he said smoothly. "Marital assets, medical decisions. We should discuss how the lottery money will be handled." I laughed and felt a rib complain. "You try to kill me and want a check?" Before he could answer, the door opened. Clara turned, her face drained. "Oh my God," she whispered. "It's the—" "Judge Henry Caldwell," the man said, stepping in. 72, steel hair, spine like a ruler. He'd been my father's best friend, a federal judge for longer than I'd been alive. "Out," he said mildly to Clara and Daniel. Not a request. They went. Judge Caldwell took the chair, set a hand on my shoulder, and looked me over like a crime scene. "Marcus," he said, "Elena called me. I should have come sooner." "You believe me?" "I don't believe in staircases that push on their own," he said, "and I keep receipts." By morning, he had a briefcase full. "Bank statements," he said, laying out the proof in tidy rows. 47,000 in cash withdrawals while you were unconscious. Maxed cards with a forged signature that matches Mr. Cross's handwriting. A competency form declaring you unfit, signed by a Beverly Hills cosmetic surgeon who is, conveniently, Clara's uncle. Lottery routing changes. Insurance paperwork listing Clara as sole beneficiary. My stomach went cold. They were going to erase me. They were going to try, he said. "I've already notified the State Lottery Commission. Payments are frozen pending investigation. Your money is safe. For now," I said. He slid over a card with a simple number. "From now on, you're under my protection. 2 days later, a woman in sensible shoes and a noir posture arrived with a laptop. "Sophia Grant," she said, gripping my hand like a vice. "Private investigator. Judge Caldwell hired me." She built a timeline like a watchmaker. "Convenience. Store across from your house," she said, tapping the tablet. "Camera faces your driveway. Night of the accident. Clara and Daniel arrived together, both carrying bags." She swiped. "Text messages a week before your win." Clara: "What if something happened to Marcus? Like an accident. The life insurance would pay out." Daniel: "Accidents happen all the time, especially around stairs. But we need to be smart." I shut my eyes against the sting. She kept going. 3 days before your win, Daniel meets with a fixer named Tony Marone. Daniel owes his creditors about $2.3 million, interest eating him alive. After your fall, he sends a $50,000 good faith payment. Meanwhile, Clara researches inheriting lottery winnings if the winner dies. Daniel Googles, "How long? After brain injury, do patients wake up?" He also starts browsing real estate in countries without extradition. Sophia looked up. "This isn't messy greed. This is premeditated murder for money." I nodded. "What now?" "Now we hand it to the FBI." Agent Sarah Morrison had the clipped patience of someone who'd heard every lie twice. "Mr. Hale," she said, shaking my hand. "We'll take it from here." They did. Within a week, the U.S. versus Clara Peyton Hale and Daniel Cross was docketed in federal court. Wire fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to commit murder, fraud against a state lottery commission. The courtroom felt carved from consequence. I hobbled, in on crutches. Judge Caldwell sat behind me like a ghost with teeth. Sophia stacked exhibits. Agent Morrison's smile said she'd brought a nail gun to a coffin. Clara wore a black dress that whispered respectable and screamed performative. Daniel looked like a man who'd done a lot of math and come up wanting. Their attorney, Clara's cousin, because nepotism dies hard, kept shuffling papers as if a miracle might be hiding between them. The prosecution's opening was clean and merciless. The defense's was boy meets tragic staircase. Then came the avalanche. Texts, bank records, video stills, phone pings. Clara's own words read aloud under oath. Daniel's punchline about stairs on a screen big enough to shame. When Sophia walked the jury through the timeline, affair, debt, plan, shove, spend, disappear, you could feel the air change. Evidence doesn't argue, it arranges. Deliberations lasted 47 minutes. I counted everyone. "Guilty," the foreman said, "on all counts." Clara's scream cut the quiet like a siren. She leapt up, knocking water into her lap, and launched into a monologue of entitlement. How I'd wasted her best years, how mediocrity had smothered her, how she deserved more, how this couldn't be happening because of who her father was. Judge Hammond's gavel brought the ceiling down. "Mrs. Hale, sit or be held in contempt." Clara doubled down. "Marcus, tell them," she pleaded as the bailiffs approached. For a sliver of a second, the old reflex, the one that used to make me patch her messes, twitched. "Sorry," I said. "You're on your own." Daniel didn't scream. He just turned gray, buttoned his jacket, and let the cuffs click. "For what it's worth," he murmured as he passed, "I'm sorry it came to this." "You're sorry you got caught," I said. Sentencing was arithmetic. "Clara Peyton Hale," Judge Hammond said, voice like a door closing. 25 years in federal prison. Parole not before 15. Daniel Cross, 20 years. Parole not before 12. Judge Caldwell squeezed my shoulder. "It's over." For the first time since the fall, I believed him. 6 months later, I drank good coffee on the deck of my new place, watched Lake Michigan shift from pewter to gold, and tried not to grin at the audacity of feeling fine. The house doesn't have beige. It has windows. It has quiet. It has no trace of people who treat love like a commodity. I paid cash, not because I'm flashy, because I could. Sundays belong to Elena and her kids. They adopted me the way kids do, with total commitment and zero paperwork. Miguel, 8, brought rocks. Sophia, 6, brought dandelions and pronouncements. Any word from prison? Elena asked, settling into the chair I bought because she likes the way it leans. I pulled a folded letter from my pocket. Clara wrote, she found God, started a Bible study, learned humility, and, shocker, needs commissary money. Elena snorted. Did you send a fruit basket of no? I sent nothing, I said. Her lawyer also floated a generous divorce proposal, 50% of what's left. Elena laughed hard enough to wake a gull. She is consistent. The divorce had been brisk. Hard to claim half of a windfall you tried to acquire via homicide. Caldwell oversaw it. Clara's attorneys learned what it means when the law remembers. Your name? I hired a financial advisor for what money couldn't teach me, and I built a foundation for people who need a lawyer more than a lecture, survivors who can't afford to leave until someone helps them leave. I put my dad's name on the hospital's new trauma wing because he would have liked that. Help the helpers. Sophia sends me occasional updates. Professional curiosity, she says, but I hear satisfaction. Clara's adjustment to a world without country clubs is challenging. Daniel, true to form, adapts to new creditors. The lake went blue the way it only does when the wind behaves. Miguel shoved a fossil in my hand. Sophia climbed into my lap like she'd been born there. Uncle Marcus, she said, eyes serious, are you happy? I looked at the water, at Elena reading beside me, at the kids turning the yard into a map of wonder. Yeah, Soph, I said, surprised by how easy the truth felt in my mouth. I really am. Clara tried to reduce me to a line item. Daniel tried to balance his books with my life. They taught me something I should have learned sooner. People who love you don't ask you to disappear. I didn't. I'm here. I'm mine. And I'm just getting started.